Yo. Welcome in to the ChrisBeCappinn Show. WNBA games on for today. We got 3 of them. We'll do a quick recap of yesterday's games as well as we always do. Talk about what jaXon is eyeing as well. And get up off here, man. Get into the 3 games that we have on the board for today. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't love the slate. I did make one official play. Not sure if I add another, but there's one thing. I really don't love the slate today, but let's talk it through, man. Let's talk it through real quick. Going through, see how Gina says, what's up, Chris? Went 0-2 in the W last night. Lost Sabrina over her 2.5 threes, and Indian Golden State under 162.5. Less cash today. I need my money back. That's a fact. Absolutely. And we'll jump into a quick recap very, very shortly. What's up, Too Rare? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says salute, Chris. I know it's middle of the day. I told you guys I'm gonna just try to get the shows done when I can. Sun kind of got me in the wind. I think next week will be a little bit calmer. Maybe I can go back to doing the morning shows a little bit more consistently. But right now I'm just kind of, just trying to get the show in, whether it's in the evening, the morning, the night before, all that. So let's jump into a quick recap. So yesterday, I told you guys I sniped the Valkyries and the Fever under at 167.5 at open. It did finish at 165, which I think was still available yesterday, so it would have been a push. Ended up adding Lexi Hall over her 1.5 3-pointers made, just because I thought that what we kind of talked about. I thought that if the Fever were going to be successful, it was going to be because some of those guards were going to be able to knock down some of those threes. And Lexi Hall was looking good. She was 1 for 1. In the first half, and then she shot only one more in the whole second half, and ended up missing it. So she did finish on 1. It was a little bit of a bummer, but of course that was a smaller play, right? It was plus 165, so it was only a 0.3 unit play versus the Golden State and Indy total was a full unit play. So you add these 2 plays with the play from the night before, which was I played on the Phoenix Mercury to smoke the Connecticut Sun, and they did not, and that brings us to minus 3.7 units on the full season. So, like I said, still got a lot of work to do, trying to get ahead of these numbers as quickly as I possibly can, and trying to cash some tickets, man. Trying to cash and run it up in the W. Let's jump into it for today, real quick. Cal says, "What it do, Chris?" What up, Cal? Appreciate you for tapping in. Tyler says, "What's up, Chris?" Wanted to say Alyssa Thomas again. She went off. OKC down by 30. What? Yeah, that's a fact. She did almost have a triple-double last night on the second leg of a back-to-back. Shout out to the Phoenix Mercury. I don't know if the game goes that way if Jocko Jones doesn't go down and roll her ankle again, but hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What's up, Tom Ty? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says Mystic plus the points. Brian says, "What's up, Chris? Let's get it today." Cashed on Phoenix plus 11 yesterday. Finished just fine today. Like it. Tom pointing out something that I want to talk about. We got to talk about this. Mark says, Chris and Chet hit both overs, gave it all back on the OKC game. Man. Yeah, that was. I don't really know what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing anymore, honestly. I just want to kind of check them, see if they got pull-ups on, or if it's Pampers or Huggies, because they for sure are wet in the bed. Maybe some Depends. Just it's kind of interesting to see a team play with that kind of effort when they got a chance to close out and win the world championship. But neither here nor there. Early, super young team, I guess you say, and the other times you say, man, this is the greatest defense in the world. Like, no idea what to do with OKC, man. No idea what to do with them. Probably not even betting Game 7, but we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. I got some thoughts. Let's jump into it for today. So yesterday, jaXon did give out a winner. It was an NBA winner. The under between the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder, under 221, was a winner yesterday, with the Oklahoma City Thunder only scoring 91 points. So a winner from jaXon yesterday. Today's prompt is, what are the 2 best player props in the WNBA? I want an over and an under. jaXon likes Alicia Gray over her 4.5 rebounds. Odds are juiced here at minus 138 on FanDuel. It says she's been dominant on the boards, hitting the over on this line in 90% of her last 10 games, 100% of her last 5 games. She's her recent average of 5.8 boards per game further support this pick. Opponent matchup against the Washington Mystics, Gray has excelled, averaging 6.5 rebounds in their 2 matchups this season. The Mystics rank poorly in rebounding defense, making this a favorable matchup. Home advantage. Gray has been particularly strong at home, hitting the over and 100% for home games this season, with the average of 6 rebounds per game. So jaXon likes Alicia Gray to go over on her rebound prop at 4.5, and jaXon likes Ryan Howard under. So same teammate, of course, for the Atlanta Dream, under her 9.5 rebounds and assists. Minus 136 on FanDuel. Says she struggled to hit this line consistently, staying under in 60% of her last 20 games. A recent average of just 9 assists plus rebounds over this span is slightly below the line. Against the Mystics this season, she's averaged just 5.5 rebounds and assists across 2 games, well below the line. The Mystics defense has been effective in limiting her production in these categories. And then while at home, while Howard has been better at home, her average of just 11.2 rebounds and assists is slightly inflated by a few standout games. The Mystics defense should be able to keep her in check tonight. So jaXon likes Alicia Gray over her 4.5 boards, Ryan Howard under her 9.5 boards plus assists. So 2 looks by jaXon there. See if jaXon can kind of stay hot today. And jump into the games, man. First one we got up is the Dallas Wings and the Connecticut Sun. This line opened at 2.5 is what I saw in favor of the Dallas Wings. It has since shifted. I think I saw it up to 5 earlier, and now it's kind of come back down. It looks like consensus is, I guess, more so 4.5 than 4. There's 1-4 out there on DraftKings right now. Total has shifted up. I think it opened 163, 163.5 is up to 164.5 now. So we jump into the injury report. There's no Maddie Siegrist, of course, for the Dallas Wings. There's no Tiara McCowan for the Dallas Wings. It just down, I think, those 2 players. And then on the opposite side, I think Connecticut is going to have everybody in that has recently been playing. So both teams will be pretty much at full strength. I do think that Maddie Siegrist is a big piece that's missing, but they did just get Paige Beckers back in the last couple games. So we got Dallas coming off their first home win of the season, just 2-11 straight up. This is a toilet bowl type game. 2-11 straight up, 1-6 on the road straight up as well. And then this Connecticut Sun team, also one of the worst teams in the WNBA, just 2-10 straight up, 1-5 against the spread at home. They're 2-4. I'm sorry, 1-5 straight up at home, 2-4 against the spread at home. They've lost 4 straight, but they have covered back-to-back games. Have this Connecticut Sun team. Both games, of course, though, they were catching 14.5 points or more. This will be game number 4 for them in 6 nights. All since the beginning of the week, pretty much the 15th through today would be the 20th. They played 4 games in 6 nights. Dallas has only played 1 game since the 15th. So I do like the spot here for the Dallas Wings. I'm not big on laying a lot of points with the Wings. I think that they are not a good team, of course, but they're also playing against a Connecticut team that's even worse. So I did bet Dallas in this spot. I laid the 4 with Dallas. You can still get the number. Like I said, on DraftKings, it is 4.5 everywhere else. Couple things to talk about here. So this is the last matchup. You can see that the Dallas Wings absolutely smoked the Connecticut Sun. This game was played in Connecticut. I put the box score up here so you guys can see it along with the team stats. I do think that Dallas should be able to score the basketball. Paige Beckers went crazy in this game. Of course she is. She went to UConn, so she'll be playing, close to she'll be playing in the town that she went to college in. And I do think that Dallas can find some success in this game. 56% from the field in the last game, 50% from the three-point line. If Arike Ogunbowale can get hot, I do think that they are the better team. You can also see they won the assist battle. They won pretty much everything except your points off turnovers. They won it all. And when I was looking at the, a little bit deeper, the one thing I want to keep doing is I want to keep fading the Connecticut Sun. I think that even if it's the Dallas Wings, I think you continue to fade them. This Connecticut Sun team is the second worst offense, the worst offensive rated team, the worst defensive rated team, the worst net rating team. They score the fewest points. They give up the most points. So I just think that they should be able to have some success. Opponents are shooting the best field goal percentage against them. And I know that they're coming off a nice little cover. They took my money the other day against the Mercury, but they don't play well in this spot. So it's 5 when they're getting 5 points or less. You can see I highlighted it here. These are the games that are supposed to be close. They've lost all 3. They have failed to cover all 3 and losing by an average of 13 points. So, one of these games came against the Wings. They got smoked by the Wings, lost that game by 22. So I like this angle right here for the Dallas Wings, just fading Connecticut as a short dog. I also like this angle here. We talked about this a couple games ago. Sun after a previous cover. So when they covered a game before, they typically do not play well. They can't put it together for back-to-back efforts. We saw that they barely covered against the Indiana Fever, getting, I think it was 16.5, 17.5 points the other night. Second leg of back-to-back, they come back home, they cover. So I am expecting them to get smoked in this spot. You can see that they're 0-4 straight up, 1-3 against the spread in this spot. Some of these players, all of these teams that they played are better than the Wings, of course. But I think that this is another nice little angle to fade the Dallas Wings. And then there's one more. When they played against teams that are also not good, so teams that have a 50% win percentage or teams that have a less than 50% win percentage, you can see that they've struggled against terrible teams as well. Aces, which of course the Aces were 0-1 at the time because they had just lost to the New York Liberty. But you see the Wings are on here. The only team they beat was the Fever. They caught the Fever slipping without Caitlin Clark at the crib. And then got smoked by the Mystics and, of course, got smoked by the Sky as well. So I did lay the 4 points here with the Dallas Wings, man. Hopefully they can get the job done. I think they're the lesser of the two evils in this spot. And I also think it's something to mention about, or just on the Dallas side, Dallas got their first home win against the Valkyries the other night. And that could be some momentum that they need. They've been playing a little bit better defensively as well. I think that they have enough to beat this Connecticut Sun team. Connecticut they kind of all over the place, man. Kind of all over the place. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Chicago Cheetah says, I think there's a revenge game for the Washington Mystics. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it in just a second. It's definitely a revenge game. What else should I say? What up, GLB? Appreciate you for tapping in as always, bro. Brian says he played Dallas -4. He says third game in 4 nights for the Sun. Right. Yeah, it is. It is. And they're coming off a cover. I think they get smoked in this spot. DC Sean says, what up, Chris? I'll take the ladies of DC plus the points. Okay. We'll talk about that game in just a second. And Mark says Page back to Connecticut with revenge. I'm with you, Chris. Dallas Wings -4. I like it. Jason says he bet over 164.5 this morning. I like over too, Jason. If not, just the Dallas Wings team total. The one thing that kind of, I put it in the Discord, not in the Discord. I sent it out to the members yesterday when I was looking into this game. The thing that kind of holds me up just a tad bit is I've seen this Connecticut team really, really struggle to score the basketball. I think they were playing against the Sun, and I'm sorry, they're playing against the Sky. They literally couldn't score the basketball. So in their home games, they're averaging, what was this number? 150, 163, which is right around where this number is. They're 3-2-1 to the over. So games are going over a little bit, but they're only averaging 76 points per game. Now the Dallas Wings defense is not great, but it's a lot better for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. The Wings defense has been a lot better on the road than it's been at home. On the road, they're giving up 88 points. At home, they're giving up 86 points. Oh, no, their offense is better. So their offense is better on the road. 77 is what they're scoring at home. They're scoring 85 on the road. So that does support your over. The Wings are a team that scores a lot of points on the road. Those games are averaging about 173 points. So could not talk you off of over. Not talk you off of over. I'm just staying off of this one. Maybe I'll bet it live. We'll talk about Alicia Gray in just a second. What up? Danny says, good afternoon, Chris. Dallas -4 this morning. I like it. I like it. Brian says, let's get it. Dallas tonight. Fellow Irishman Mark. All right, let's move over to the next one. Wings -4 for me in this one. I need the Wings. Let's go Wings. Sounds weird to say, man, but sometimes you got to take it. I typically like staying away from the ugly games too. All right, next one up, we got the Mystics and the Atlanta Dream. So game will be played in Atlanta, of course. Dream coming off a heartbreaking loss. They, had the lead for majority of the game against the Liberty a couple nights ago. And the Mystics fought, hard to come back after going down to the Chicago Sky in their last game. So Brittany Griner did pop up on the injury report earlier. She's listed as questionable with an illness. For the Mystics, this will be the second straight road game. They're 2-4 straight up, 3-3 against the spread on the road. The Atlanta Dream are 4-1 straight up and against the spread at the crib. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games against the spread, which is the best ATS record in the WNBA. When I looked at this game, right, we just played the Atlanta Dream in the last one, -4. I think that was on Sunday, and they smoked the Mystics. Matter of fact, I put the graphics here. So they beat the Mystics by 33 in DC just last week. You can see that they, I said that the Mystics weren't going to shoot the ball that well. The Mystics had shot This was the second game between the two teams. The first game, the Mystics actually shot 50% from the three-point line. I think they went 9 for 18, is what we talked about the other day. In this game, you can see that they really struggled shooting 3 for 17, 16% from the 17% from the three-point line. And the Atlanta Dream actually shot the ball really, really well. The Atlanta Dream are a team that should be able to shoot the ball a little bit better than they have been shooting it. But in this game, they went crazy. Got to 89 points, shot 43% from the three-point line, 18 of 42. You can see it there. I mean, they were just clicking on all cylinders. They also started the third quarter on a 16-0 run. I think it was 16-0. Might have been even bigger than that. And won the third quarter 23-10 to kind of put this one away after dominating the first and second quarter as well. So, yeah, I mean, you can see the points that they gave up. They were plus 10 points off turnovers. They dominated the boards. Like they did pretty much whatever they wanted to do. The Mystics are just 1-3 against the spread on the road. They're 4-0 to the under. Those games they're averaging just 71 points per game. They stayed under their team total in all 4 games. And then on the opposite side, the Atlanta Dream 4-0 against the spread and home wins as well. All 4 have been by 8 points or more, and all 4 have gone under the total, with them holding each opponent under their team total. It feels like a little too easy to take the Dream. I saw this line open at 7.5. Even if Brittany Griner doesn't play, I don't know how much that really matters in my opinion. Like I feel like Brittany Griner is good, but I mean they still got a bunch of key role players. Naz Hillman coming off the bench. You still got Bree Jones as well. Like they still have enough in my opinion. So with all those trends kind of lining up with the under and a Mystics team total under, I guess if I had to play, I would go that way. This one just doesn't feel right to me for whatever reason though. I think maybe it's a little bit of not that Atlanta won't want to win and they haven't been consistent this season because they have, but the Mystics having a little bit of revenge, even though I don't trust their offense. The Atlanta Dream, I feel like could potentially overlook the Washington Mystics because they just beat them by 33 points. So I didn't play this game, but I think if I had to play, I'd probably go back to the under. I think Washington's offense could be a little bit better. I don't expect it to be great, but a little bit more than 56 points, a little bit better than 17% from the field. And then on the Atlanta Dream side of things, I don't think that their offense is going to go out and score 89 points again against the Mystics. I think the Mystics defense is a little bit better than that. So I think I would lean under. The problem is the total's already come down. I saw this at 158. I think it might have been as high as 158.5, but now it's down to 156.5, 157 on most books. I lean under. Did not get involved in the game. Couple other things. Atlanta 3-0 straight up and against the spread, coming off a loss this season. 2-0 against the spread, coming off a loss, and they're playing at home. And then as far as the under goes, what I wrote in my notes is the last game did go under 158.5, with the total getting to 155, which you can see here. Even though the Mystics were held to just 56 points. So while I think Washington's offense can do better, like I said, they shot 29 they didn't even they shot 29.5% from the field, 17% from the three-point line. I also think that their defense can be a little bit better. So I do kind of expect this game, potentially to stay under, maybe even the first half under, would be the way that I would look in this game. We know that the Atlanta Dream have been one of the worst offenses in the WNBA for whatever reason in the first half, and then they kind of, turn it on late. So that wouldn't surprise me if we saw first half under here. I didn't bet the game though. Probably just gonna stay out the way and play this one live. I kind of feel like the lines are right about where they should be. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Washington tried to keep this game close. Also, Atlanta's been playing well above their heads, in my opinion. I mean, this team is smoking hot right now. Almost beat the Liberty, upset the Liberty as well. I think they absolutely can beat this Washington Mystics team. Washington, like I said in the last game, this is a very inconsistent offense, man. As far as player props go, like I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. Like Alicia Gray, I don't know if people had a chance to see it or not. And I'm not a big narrative guy, but I do think like Alicia Gray being left off the All-Star voting, like from the players, I think that is absolutely something to consider in this game. I like Alicia Gray a lot in this spot. jaXon liked her rebounds. This was the 4.5 number. You can see here. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check out Outlier as well. 50%, 7-day free trial. I'm sorry. I'm using that link in the description. So this was what jaXon was talking about as far as Alicia Gray this season. Looking at her on the full season, she's gotten 5 rebounds in 10 of 12 games. So it's 83%. You can see the number right here. If we go head to head, this dates all the way back to last season, but they played twice this season, over in both of the games, 8-5. Going back to last season, 9-10-5. So that's 5 straight games she's going up and over. If we just filter this to home games this season, you can see she's over it every single game. Like this probably is a play that you want to take, man. And I don't think, I know it's juiced at -138. Shop around, see if you can get a better number. But I wouldn't even take away her assists either. I think her assists are also good. Look at this. Look at these numbers. Like this is 2025 as well. She's over in 9 of her 12 games, 75%. It's what you want to see when you play a player prop, right? Barely getting a 4 in a couple of these games, but 5 in back-to-back games. If Brittany Griner doesn't play, that's another rebound. Another person they're gonna be down rebound, so she may come down and help crash on the glass a little bit more. But over in 5 straight games, 6 of her last 7, and 8 of her last 8 of her last 10. This is a really good spot, I think, for Allisha Gray. I also consider her points 17.5. I know she's coming off a stinker of a game against the New York Liberty where she didn't score the basketball really well in the first game. So I know she's coming off a little bit of a stinker in this game against the New York Liberty, best defensive team in the WNBA. But she was smoking early in that game, and then they made the adjustments. I don't know if the Mystics going to be able to make those same adjustments. You can see when they played last time, she pretty much won the game, right? 32 points in that game. It'll either be her or Ryan Howard. One of those two guards will, again, I guess Ryan Howard's a forward, but one of those two, I think, will absolutely go off and go up and over their player prop. But I think, Allisha Gray not being voted in is kind of wild with the season that she's having so far. You can see she's averaging 20 points to not make the list. She probably got a fire lit under her, man. She could use that as motivation, in my opinion. So I think there's a lot of different ways you could play Allisha Gray today for sure, with her being left off the at least the first ballot for the coaches and the players still got to vote, but the fans did not vote her in, which is insane to me. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. What up, Bill? I appreciate you for tapping this. What do you think of Atlanta Washington under 158? That's the only way I would play it. Real quick, I said this already, but this was simple, right? The Mystics are 4-0 to the under and average just 71 points per game on the road. Staying under their team total in all 4 games. And the Atlanta Dream are 4-0 ATS at home. All their wins have been by 8 points or more, and all 4 have gone under the total. When the Atlanta Dream have played at home, they've held each one of their opponents under their team total. So if the Dream have held every team under their team total, the Washington Mystics have not hit their team total, then it does seem like the Washington Mystics team total under 74.5 would be the best bet on the board. If you're just looking at the numbers, I don't see a way that Washington's going to be able to score the ball a little bit more, in my opinion here. They also don't play with pace. We talk about this all the time. Real quick, if I just bring this up. Well, I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm going to just look at it real quick. The Washington Mystics, Dream also don't play at pace either. Dream are the 3rd slowest team in the WNBA last 5 games. They're second slowest pace team. The Washington Mystics are 7th, both last 5 games and on the full season. And excuse me. The only thing that scares me off a little bit is if Atlanta comes out and absolutely smokes the Mystics again. That could happen. Could absolutely happen. Atlanta is 5th in effective field goal percentage on the full season, 3rd in effective field goal percentage in their last 5 games. I think the numbers are about right, though. I don't really want to lay it, but if I had to, I think I would lay it with Atlanta. Jason says, do you like the under in this game? Mystics are so bad on offense. Yeah, Mystics are 11th in offensive rating on the full season. It is wildly inconsistent. They don't shoot the 3 well. A lot of the teams that, that really, really struggle to score, teams that don't shoot the 3-point shot well. And the Mystics are 12th in 3-point shooting. They're shooting 37%. Well, actually, this is defensively. Let's just look at Washington's offense. What I noticed is teams that don't shoot the 3-point shot well typically tend to struggle to score. Connecticut doesn't shoot it well. Dallas, even though they got 3-point shooters, don't shoot it well. Those teams, Chicago, don't really shoot the 3 well. And the Washington Mystics are 8th as far as 3-point percentage in the season at 33%. And last 5 games, they're shooting 27.8%, which is 11th in 3-point shooting. And the other thing is the Atlanta Dream are really good 3-point defense. Like, they run you off the line. Washington's actually second last 5 games, holding teams to 25%, fourth on the full season, holding teams to 30.6%. And that's like above the break 3, right corner, left corner, all that. I'm looking at it, it's all green on my numbers. So yeah, it makes a ton of sense for this game to go under, especially if it's not going to be played with pace. And real quick, I'm gonna just show you guys one more thing real quick before I go finish going through the comments and get to the next game. But this is pretty much what I was saying. So this is Moneyballer, right? And this is what I was saying about the first half specifically. So you can see the Dream first half at home as a favorite, 4-0 to the under, full game, 4-0 to the under. Mystics as a road dog, full game, 3-0 to the under, first half, 3-0 to the under. So it seems kind of easy, in my opinion, to take the under, but maybe I just got the answers to the test and I, don't want to use these answers for whatever reason. Dream team total, 4-0 to the under. Dream opponents team totals, 3-1 to the under for the first half, 4-0 to the under in the full game. The Mystics opponents first half team totals, 3-0 to the under, 2-1 to the under for the full game. So first half under is what I was telling you guys. I think it makes a lot of sense. Not sure if the pace will pick up, but I could definitely see this being a little bit of a slower starting game. Best number you can get in the first half is 78.5 minus 110 on BetMGM, and I'll add that to the short list. But not sure if I'll actually get there and make it a play. Michael says Wings and moneyline, Dream and Wings moneyline parlay at minus 115. Okay. Free Pick says I don't believe in revenge in the W. Sometimes free. We just saw this in the Aces got their revenge against Seattle. Seattle smoked them by 20, and they went back in Seattle and won their game by 5. So it happens sometimes. Brian says Ski likes the under 157. He got 158 though. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Ski a smart guy. I thought about 158.5 yesterday, if I'm being honest, but I do think it's probably the best play. I didn't make it though. Did not make it. Mark says he played 158 as well. Shout out to Ski. Also put out under. Okay. Me and Ski thinking alike. Me says crazy. I've been voting Alicia Green Daily too. Yeah, that's insane. She's won player of the week twice and player of the month. It's crazy that she didn't make anything. Let's see. Dom says first half under. He got a 79.5. Dream at home, average 71 points in the first half. We just talked about that. Chad says his Dream got 7.5 with play to minus 9, which I think is still 8.5. The reason why the number came back down, in my opinion, was because Brittany Griner got added to the injury report. And real quick, one last thing before we move on to the next game. I know I'm super thorough with it. If we look at the Atlanta Dream with Brittany Griner on the floor, off the floor, they are This is interesting. So Brittany Griner this season, with her on the floor, they are actually worse. So they are plus 6.69 in net rating with Brittany Griner on the floor. 111 offensive rating. The offense is pretty good. Defensively, they're a little bit worse with Brittany Griner on the floor. 104 defensive rating when she's on the floor. With Brittany Griner off the floor, they're plus 12. 106 offensive rating. So the offense gets a little worse, but the defense gets exponentially better. 93.83 defensive rating. So the defense gets 11 points better, 11 rating points better, and the offense takes a 5-point dip. But overall, like I said, that's a plus 6 with her off the floor. I mean, the difference between these two. So yeah, that says, even more of a Washington team total under. Let's see. Dusty says, Chris, you live bet? I switched to live betting only since last Saturday, and I'm hitting my bets at 84% now. Absolutely, Dusty. That's why I'm not playing this one yet. I think we may potentially get if this game starts off super fast, we may get a better under. So yeah, I haven't bet it yet, but it makes a lot of sense in my opinion. I would lay the points with the Dream. I would also play under. Like I said, Washington team total is 74.5, and they haven't hit that on the road yet this season. So it could just be a Washington team total under. It's all those things I didn't play any of them. Yeah, that's a fact, Chad. That's a fact. She is too slow. I wasn't even trying to be rude, man, but I'm not if you guys have watched the program, you know I'm not a big Brittany Griner guy. All right, next matchup is the Storm and the Aces. This is game number 3 between these two teams. Line is down to 1.5. I don't know what to do with the game because I don't know what's going to happen with A'ja Wilson. I really wanted to get the best of the number. Also on the injury report, which makes it even more difficult to bet, in my opinion, is Gabby Williams being out. Well, she's not out. I'm sorry. Gabby Williams being listed as questionable in this game. That's humongous, in my opinion. She rolled her ankle in the fourth quarter against the Sparks in the last game. And she didn't return. Not that they needed a return. They was winning that game by so many points. Shout out to the Seattle Storm for getting me some money the other night, capping off that 4-0 night. But yeah, Gabby Williams could potentially miss this game with that ankle injury. I'm not sure if she's going to be there. She's, of course, a very, very big defensive piece. She had a season career in WNBA high 8 steals in that game against the Sparks the other day, 6 in the first half. And now you get, this Seattle team. And like I said, A'ja Wilson being listed as questionable as well because of the concussion. The line has moved as if she was going to play. I don't know if she's going to play or not. I don't really like laying a lot of points on the road with Seattle. But I don't want anything to do with the Aces, especially if A'ja's first game coming back. Like, she could be a bit rusty. And granted, it's A'ja Wilson, probably the second best player in the WNBA. But I don't really want anything to do with, this game before it ticks off either, especially without knowing if A'ja and Gabby are going to play. This Aces, Seattle is 4-2 against the spread on the road. Nice little bounce back win after losing to the Valkyries. Smoked the Sparks in that last game. The Aces are only 1-4 against the spread at home, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They did fight hard in Minnesota the other day, but it just wasn't enough. Minnesota turned up the defense in the third quarter, ended up smoking the Aces. The Aces couldn't score the ball again. Storm do have revenge because they did lose the most recent game. And speaking of that game, I do got a quick little screenshot of what happened here. So we got to remember that the Storm actually smoked the Aces in the first game. Both of these games were played in Seattle, of course. And the Aces came back and got their revenge. I leaned heavily towards Aces first quarter. I think it was -1.5, and they smoked the Seattle Storm early in that game, 27-17. Seattle put up a fight in the third quarter, almost came back, but ended up losing the game and didn't cover the spread either. I think the Aces were laying 3.5 or 4 in this game. And you can see what happened, right? Aces shot the ball really well from the 3-point line, which is something they're not doing, and this was a game, both of the games, of course, were played with A'ja. I kind of think if A'ja comes in and Gabby plays, if both of them play, I kind of want to take the points with I kind of want to lay the points with Seattle. Wherever the line might go, I think if A'ja is confirmed in, this will flip to, Aces laying a point. I kind of feel like Seattle can beat this team, man. I kind of feel like Seattle, it's not even a feel. Seattle is better than the Aces, in my opinion. All things currently constructed. Don't really want to play Seattle off a win. Just because they're a little janky at times, man. This of course, this Aces team is a little janky as well, but I don't really want to play Seattle off a win. Aces have lost 2 games in a row because they lost to the Mercury before they lost to the Minnesota Lynx. I don't know when the last time they covered a game either. They've been getting absolutely smoked, have the Aces. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough game, especially given things with the injury report. So definitely no way I'm playing this game without knowing if two of the impact players are going to play. But I kind of, like I said, if Gabby and A'ja play, I kind of want to take the Storm, whatever the number is, thinking that if I can get them plus a point, plus a point and a half, money line, something like that. That's the side I want to be on. But I'll pass for now. Let's see what you guys are thinking here, real quick. Michael says Aces money line. Over, Joshua says, as far as the total goes, Josh, like I really don't know what to do with the total. I would need to know what's gonna happen with the Gabby Williams and A'ja Wilson. This total has dropped. It opened 163.5 is what I wrote down yesterday in my notes, and it's down to 160.5 now. So 3 points to the under. I worry about the Aces offense being able to score, especially if A'ja Wilson doesn't play. I think it's probably a little bit more of an under game. If we just look at the numbers real quick, I'm not gonna pull this up on the screen, but if we just look at the numbers, I know that the Aces offense is actually taking a big step back, and of course that's without A'ja, but they play some really good defensive teams, right? Just came off a game against the Mercury. After the Mercury, they played against the Lynx, two of the top 5 defenses in the WNBA. Offensively, they're the 9th best offense in the WNBA right now, averaging just 79 points per game on the season. Last 5 games, 94.5 offensive rating, which is 11th, and averaging 75.4 points per game, 3rd fewest in the WNBA right now. And Seattle's actually number 1 in the WNBA as far as scoring goes. Last 5 games, 86.5 points per game, 6th in opponent points at 78. Both teams are playing relatively fast. Storm are 4th in pace last 5 games. Aces are 3rd in pace last 5 games. So yeah, take with all that information, do what you want to do. Real quick, one more thing I want to look at. I just want to look at upcoming spots real quick because I don't think I checked this out last night. Let's see. So Seattle is playing 3rd straight game on the road. This will be 4th game in a row with 5th game in a row with travel. But it's short travel, right? They were in Golden State, then went to LA, and now going to Vegas. So these are short flights. 2 days off in between as well. I don't know how much that really means. They do got a big game on Sunday against the New York Liberty, though. Something to take into consideration. And the Aces, first game back home after the game against Minnesota, they played a Fever. They actually played a Fever on Sunday. Game will be at the crib for them in Vegas, but they got the Fever. And the Aces have failed to cover 5 straight games. 5 straight games. A dud to the Minnesota Lynx, to the Phoenix Mercury, to the Dallas Wings. They barely even won that game. Lost to the Sparks when they were laying 9 points, and then got smoked by the Valkyries. I want nothing to do with this Aces team, man. Nothing. I just want to get a better number if A'ja Wilson comes back. If we go to look at, I don't even know if her numbers are posted real quick, but I know the last few games, people have been calling out A'ja Wilson under. I know specifically, Doms have been on A'ja Wilson unders. Let's see if her points prop are listed. Yeah, they are listed. A'ja has struggled. Like she has been one of the key strugglers against this defense. A defense that has a lot of length, athleticism. You got Malunga, you got Nneka, you got Ezzy, and A'ja has struggled. Look at this: 29, 25, and 26 points, rebounds, and assists in the 3 games that she's played against. The last 3 games she's played, and these were the 2 games this season. And I think this was from last year. No. I'm sorry. These are the last 3 games in general. But if we go look at the head-to-head matchup, these were the 2 games this season: 24 and 29 points and assists, points, rebounds, and assists for A'ja Wilson. Only going over in 1 time in her last 5 games against them, and you can get her number under at 35.5 right now. To me, that says under. To me, that says storm too. That says storm. If they can slow down A'ja Wilson, you definitely got a chance to win this game. Make somebody else beat you, right? I mean, the blueprint is already out there. Shout out to I'm gonna butcher her name, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. But shout out to the Valkyries head coach, probably coach of the year. I was trying to find odds. I can't bet him. I can't bet it in Virginia. I think it's plus 230 on DraftKings, though. I do think that she is gonna be highly considered for coach of the year. Absolutely doing a hell of a job out there in Golden State. I mean, they kept it close against Minnesota. They got wins against the Aces, which I don't know how much that is actually saying, but they beat the Aces as double-digit dogs. They hung close, almost beat the Liberty one time as well in New York. First half cover against the Lynx. Just beat the Fever as double-digit dogs. Like this team, that Valkyries team is crazy good. Crazy good. I think they're 8-3 against the spread right now as well. And they just keep getting these big numbers at home. Just play super hard, man. Gotta love that Valkyries team. What up, Dax? Appreciate you for tapping in. Lon says over or Seattle, in my opinion, Joshua says. Potentially. I can't trust Ace's offense, though. right on cue. Dom says, I grabbed A'ja under 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He says they've held it to 24-29 this season, and even if she's back, it's going to be some rust. Right on cue. I know how Dom's mind work. If it ain't broke, he's not trying to fix it. He's going right back to it. Mark says lean Seattle, but pass for now. Agreed there. Joshua says Aces minus 1.5. Can't see that cashing. Me either. What's up, Lightbear? Appreciate you for tapping in as always, bro. Hope all is well with you. So let's crush the books tonight. Dusty says I've been hidden betting between half of the first quarter and start of the second quarter. Juice few overs like Agumbawale last game when it was stuck at plus 300 for her to get to 20 points. Okay. Appreciate you, Joshua. Appreciate you for sure. Meat says found Dejanay over 11.5 at plus 105 on Caesars. Might be favorite spot of the night. Why her though? Meech? They're absolutely a money printer for sure. Dejanay Carrington over her points. I think Paige got another big game. Paige broke out in that game. What did she have? 34 points? No, I don't think that was a 30-point game. It might have been a 30-point game. Paige is who I was looking at in that game, but I'm gonna stay away from props, man. Props in WNBA are volatile. Boy, they volatile. Under props look good for sure. I'd rather play under for over any day of the week in the W. And Brian says, great show, Chris. Great show, Chris. Great information. Appreciate it so much. It's cash tonight. Let's do it, man. So getting into a quick recap. The only thing I bet so far was the Dallas to win. I don't know what to do with Alicia Gray, man. Like I know I want to bet on her. I just don't know if I want to bet her points, her rebounds, her assists, her whole PRA line. Maybe I'll just take her whole PRA line. I do think that Washington could potentially keep the game close. But I think Alicia Gray is going to have a game tonight, man, especially after being overlooked. And I'm not a big narrative guy, but I think, when this type of stuff come out the day of the game, in Atlanta overall in general, like I don't think they had anybody on that all-star team. And they're one of the best teams in the WNBA right now. I mean, they could absolutely want to come out here and punish the Washington Mystics again, the same way that they did in the last one, winning that game by 33 points. So that kind of makes me lean Washington as well. But I only bet Dallas so far, -4. Alicia Gray, I'm a player some way, shape, or form. Points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, and assists. Something I want to get there on. And that'll be it for today. Like I said, as far as the last game go, I need to know what's going on with Asia. And we'll jump into the rest of the games. We got 2 games tomorrow as well. Phoenix and Chicago, Sparks and Lynx as well. If I was thinking right, I probably would have just went ahead and did those games today. But send those plays out to the members when I make them, because I think it is a spot that I absolutely love for tomorrow. So best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are betting. If you consider joining, the link is in the description of the video. The link is also in the description of the video for all the resources as well. Check out jaXon. Again, jaXon likes Alicia Gray over her boys at 4.5, likes Ryan Howard under her rebounds and assists. jaXon also cashed yesterday, so use that link in the description. Outlier, 7-day free trial, link in the description. Moneyballer, showed you guys how to use that. Trends, stats, situational spots, all that good stuff. And the OddsJam live sportsbook screen page is what I use OddsJam for. But all the links in the description as they always are, man. Enjoy your Friday. If you guys don't tune in tomorrow, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.